What was to laugh or to laugh at?
Kucheka.
Kucheka. To be laughed at?
Kuchekwa.
Kuchekwa. So to get this meaning of to be laughed, no, to be laughed at, we can just most of the time add a W before the A. Kuchekwa. I'm being laughed at.
Ninachekwa.
Ninachekwa. No, one word. I'm being laughed at. Ninachekwa. You're being laughed at.
Unachekwa.
Unachekwa. So we've seen a whole new exciting element to our verbs, no? That we can change the end of them to alter their meanings. So we have to laugh or to laugh at, kucheka, and then to be laughed at, kuchekwa, to do or to make, kufanya, and to be done, to be made, kufanywa. Kuuza is to sell. That's K-U-U-Z-A, kuuza.
Kuuza.
How would you say they sell books?
Wanauza vitabu.
Very good. Wanauza vitabu. They sell books in town. They sell books in town.
Wanauza vitabu mjini.
Good. Wanauza vitabu mjini. To be sold.
Kuuzwa.
Kuuzwa. They are sold in town. And we mean the books.
Vinauzwa mjini.
Vinauzwa mjini. Good. So this is the books, the potatoes. Vinauzwa mjini. So words like kitabu, Kiswahili, kiazi belong to the same group of nouns. They behave in the same way. They go into the plural, removing ki and putting
Vi.
And when we say it and we refer to these nouns, we use ki. And when we say they or them and we refer to these nouns, we use vi. You'll also find in Swahili that certain noun groups, like the ki group, might have a high concentration of nouns with similar meanings. For example, the ki group has many man-made tools, like book, kitabu, or chair, for example, kiti, or Kiswahili, which is a language and man-made. Even the word for thing, kitu, if you think about it, thing refers to something man-made. Even in English, you wouldn't usually say, pass me that thing, referring to a rock. But if the rock was carved into something, then you could. So the ki group contains a lot of tools or man-made tools. So this is one noun group, the ki group, that goes to plural with vi. What was the word for town?
Mji.
Mji. This noun belongs to a different group, to the mu group. This group contains many names of natural elements of the world, be it plants, trees, features of land like mountains or rivers. But why am I calling this the mu group? As we saw with words like kitabu, nouns are built of two parts, no? The bit that can change, like ki in kitabu, and the bit with the meaning of the noun, like tabu. Umji is actually mu, giving us the group, and ji, just we lose that u before a consonant. And we've seen that before, of course, with the mu of him or her, no? And when that goes before a consonant, it's just a So that's what's happening in umji. So the beginning bit is actually mu, only that the u is mostly lost before a consonant. So minus a few words where the u stays intact, like muda, which is the word for moment or while or period of time generally. Other than a few examples like that, we don't see the u of the mu. So umji is actually mu and ji. And mu is the bit that can change, the bit that all nouns in this group share. And ji is the bit with the meaning of town or city. The word for tree is mti. So this is really muti, but the u completely gets swallowed up and isn't written either, no? It's written mti, mti. Also, when you pronounce words like umji, umti, it's very important not to put a small vowel sound, which will come out very naturally to English speakers. It's umti, not mti. If you say mti, for example, it might sound like you are pronouncing the plural, which is miti.
Miti.
So miti means trees. So to get the plural of mu nouns, the mu changes to mi. So tell me, what was the word for town?
Mji.
Mji. And towns?
Miji.
Midi.
Miji.
In the towns?
Mijini.
Mijini. What was tree?
Mti.
Mti. And trees?
Miti.
miti. A river is mto, mto,
Mto.
and rivers,
Mito.
mito. No? So for the plural of mu nouns, we use mi, and the I doesn't get lost or swallowed or changed. We hear it clearly, mito. So when you come across nouns, you can not only have a look to see if you can recognize what group they're in, but you can also have a think to see if the meaning fits the meanings you tend to find in that group. No, they won't always. You can have any noun in any group, but if you know, for example, that the mu group has a lot of natural elements and the ki group has a lot of tools, when you come across a new word and you think about not only what group it would be in, but if it fits there, well, that's amazing for your memory, because you're not memorizing, you're thinking about the nature of the language. So the mu group also contains a lot of body parts, for example, like mkono, which means hand or arm.
Mkono.
Mkono. But if you come across the word kichwa, which means head, you will notice that it's not in the mu group, it's in the ki group that contains a lot of tools. No? And that will help you interiorize that word, firstly noticing what group it is in, and then thinking, should it be there? So I said that mkono was the word for arm or hand. How would you say arms or hands?
Mikono.
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 Mikono. In the hands?
Mikononi. Mikononi.
Mikononi. What was to be?
Kuwa.
Kuwa. And to be with or to have? To be with?
Kuwana.
Kuwana. I had the book in my hands. You can just say, I was with the book in hands.
Nili kuanan kitab.
So don't try to put it all together. Kuwana are two words.
Okay. Nilikuwa na kitabu mikononi.
Very good. Nilikuwa na kitabu mikononi. So you will have an interesting time noticing what group different nouns are in, and also what kind of meanings you tend to find in the group, and then thinking whether a word should be in that group. And this can be quite interesting actually, because it might require you to reassess how you perceive things. For example, should umji be in the mu group that contains natural elements, the word for town?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Would a beehive fit?
A what?
A beehive? If you saw the word for
Yes.
so what's the difference between a town and a beehive? No? So the language might make you question certain things, like how, for example, we see ourselves so separate to nature, and then you notice that, umji is in the group of natural elements in Swahili, the same as a beehive, for example.